What's going on, guys? What's happening, peoples? My weebles. I hope all of you are doing well. What's the motherfucking deal, man? It's your boy Ed Honcho. I hope all is good. I hope all is grand. I hope life is treating you super swell. Oh, interesting. I hope life is treating you really good, man. I really do. I promise. I hope that. I really do genuinely mean that because I love each and every one of y'all, man. I think y'all are all special people in your own way, except for Heidi. But with that being said, welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet, discussing everything naturally, discussing everyday news, discussing eating nuggets. You know, I'm still probably in the Chick-fil-A nugget group. I mean, I guess you call those nuggets. You know, Wendy's used to be formidable nuggets. And I guess you can always rely on McDonald's. They might not really be meat, but those are also nuggets. Anyway, let's see who we got joining us today. We're going to get into some good conversation. We're going to talk about Winsome Sears. Winsome. What is an interesting name? I win some, you lose some, right? And what it means to really be black. And you're like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you didn't know, Winsome won the lieutenant governor's seat in Virginia in the election yesterday, right? And we're going to talk about that. They also had, I think, a Latino attorney general, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. I fuck shit up, but players fuck up. And we're going to talk about the racism of Republicans. We're going to talk about what it means to be black. Because the definition of black has changed. It's probably been changed for quite some time. Maybe I just didn't realize it, right? Maybe I didn't realize the change in it. And I told you I lost my black card a long time ago, and I might really be serious about that. But like I said, let's see who we got joining us, and then we'll dive into all that stuff, and then we will go from there. John, my favorite New Yorker, what's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Sarah Lou, how are you? Heidi. Barbara Ebron, how are you doing this evening, ma'am? I hope all is well. 335, hold on, yes. Peace, I'm done through some, what is that, white power? Yeah, white power. Peace. Marcus Brown, what's the motherfucking deal? And 17, motherfucking pimp. 17, you're a very interesting character. I dig it. I'm glad you're here this evening. I like 17. 17, that's my buddy. Strong and Grand, the man with the plan, a.k.a. Dan. Gentleman of Virginia himself, so shout out to Dan, holding it down with the right vote. No pun intended. See what I did there? Hey, Sean A., what's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this evening, sir? I hope all is well with you. So, let's talk about it, all right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh. Shame on me. I saw you shout out DeWanda. I'm like, where's DeWanda? I ain't seen DeWanda. I was in the top chat. Hey, man, if you are in the top chat, that's not where it's at. You're missing all the good convo. Make sure you're in the live chat. Yes, the top chat has free chips, but they're stale. So let's talk about it. Shout out to DeWanda Willis. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about. So let's kind of jump on that, right? Because I've always been told, and this is going to tie into why the definition of black has changed. I've always been told that the Republicans were super racist, right? Just super racist. Delta Echo Golf, what's the motherfucking deal? They're just super racist, just so racist. The R stands for racist because that's what they are. There's no reason to even examine their policies as a black man because they're racist. They don't care about you. Interesting, very interesting. Because Virginia just elected their first African-American black. I'm going to start switching up the terminology here. I think when I'm describing a certain kind of black person, and I think probably more right-wing or more independent, black folks who see the benefits of living in America, but the people who aren't just, I wake up and I hate my skin, I hate America, I hate all that, because let's be honest, it's the people who cry about the shit all day are the real self-haters. And we'll get to that, all that stuff. But black folks who know that there is a great benefit to being an American, they love being in their country, the ones who are actually saddened by the state of affairs that go on in a lot of the quote-unquote black communities, and the way, quote-unquote, corporate black culture is diminishing those communities. But I think I'm going to identify those black is black Americans. When I'm talking about the other black, I'm talking about niggas. And I sometimes fit in the nigga category. It's like, I would say I'm like 42% nigga, right? And I know that's like a high level of nigga. It fluctuates, right? It's like the humidity levels, right? It fluctuates. Not as high as the humidity in Houston, but it fluctuates. It fluctuates. My niggatry fluctuates. Sometimes it's as low as, I don't think it gets any lower than 15%, just depending on what activity I'm in. And sometimes it can get over the 50% mark. If I get in a hostile situation, I have been known to become entrapped in a nigga moment or two. Sometimes in the same day. Holly S., how are you doing? And that's I'm curious too, because mainstream has been lying to all of us. Shout out to Kendra, what's the motherfucking deal? So my thing is this, right? Like, and then I got a lot of coon in me, apparently, because coon, when you actually have concern for your life and the things you do and the well-being of other people, you become a coon, right? If you, Kinder, you're always welcome here. Everybody is welcome. The only time you get blocked in here is if you spam or if you stalk me, all the way from Canada, then that's kind of weird. Anyway, but let's talk about Winsome, right? So I was always told Republicans are racist, they hate niggas, and we can go down the history lesson, and when we open up the lines, we can talk about that. But what I saw right now in modern day America, 2021, after all the quote unquote Trumpism, Trump's a racist, all this other stuff, I saw the Republican Party in Virginia elect a black woman. But to some black people on the left, on my left, maybe it's the right to y'all, she's not black enough. Jamel Hill says white supremacy elected Winsome Sears. How, right? Because if it's all about white supremacy, wouldn't your white rage just not allow you to elect a black person? Wouldn't that be the case? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, these idiots, these quote unquote intelligent niggas on the left, and yes, I said niggas, intelligent niggas on the left, and I'm being super facetious. The people who are not held accountable for the statements they make, but yet they make them all the time. They make these inflammatory statements all the time. They're allowed to say the stuff, and they're never held or, checked or corrected for the shit they say, because there's a lot of motherfuckers who support the ignorance. So she said some goofy shit, right? What's up, Baker Man? What's the motherfucking deal? So this is not it's not a black conservative chat. This is an everybody chat. Everybody's welcome in the den, right? And like I said, I consider myself more independent than anything. I lean a little conservative, maybe. Everybody's welcome here, whether you're a liberal, whether you're a communist. I don't know how that works, but whether you're a libertarian, whether you Republican, whatever you may be, the den is an open discussion for everybody. Just depends on the topic that night. It is what it is. So, fucking Heidi, you're a terrible person. Calhoun, what's the motherfucking deal? So, again, Jamel Hill, Joy Reid, these talking black female heads that they have. I'm pretty sure Don Lemon said something. Don Lemon has said something. Because, again, it's always a very feminine energy coming from the left. I'm telling you, if you got low T, you probably lean left, and then once you kind of get your levels up, what the fuck have I been doing? So if your testosterone levels are low and you want them that way, you can stay on the left. But if you want to get them right, go right. So again, and I agree, right? I agree. Exactly, I agree, absolutely, Holly. And so, like I said, so they're saying this stuff that doesn't make sense. She's not black enough. She's a pawn for white supremacy. I used to think, and I saw the shirts and I see the people. I'm for everything black. And I told y'all a lot of times, I'm not for everything black. Like, I will shop black business if the customer service is good, if it's a quality product, and I do try to support, black business if I can. But at the same time, I'm going to go where I'm treated best. If you got shitty customer service, you got a shitty product, low quality, whatever it may be, then I'm going to go where I get treated the best. Beyond. I got something for you. I'm going to shoot you something here in the middle of the stream, then I'm going to send you something after the stream. I think you have an idea of what I'm talking about. I finally got around to doing what I'm supposed to be fucking doing. Shout out to Beyond, a funny nigga. And I know I'll be all over the place. So if you're new to this, get used to it. If you're true to this, you already know how it goes. But that leads me to black, right? So what is black now? Is black a skin color? Because Winsome's obviously black. Like I say, the racist Republicans, they voted in a Latino. Shame on them. And then what I saw today, because we know the left's ideology is just so in inclusivity, the left turned on white women today. They turned on the white women. They blame white women because I think there was a higher percentage of, I want to say it was like a 15% difference in, I think what they voted for Trump. Actually, they voted more so for, Snarling, I can't even think of his name, but basically Republican in this election. They blame white women. It's what's wrong with y'all. It's like, I don't understand why other groups, and especially I saw this gay black dude going on a tirade, complain about white women. Like, the only thing that guy and white women have in common is the love of BBC. But all jokes aside, it's like, what you as a gay black dude, what do you think that you have in common with a white woman that she would have the same principle? The white woman cares about the education her kids are getting. I think that's the thing that really set it over the top, is people are seeing what's going on in these schools, how these children are being indoctrinated with this bullshit, and the white women love their kids. And they're like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they got out there and they voted. They don't want the fucking bullshit, right? They don't want their kids indoctrinated with this overly sexualized propaganda that's being pushed into schools. You're more worried about teaching them under the guise of tolerance and acceptance various sexual behaviors. And again, whatever you're into, that's on you. I just don't think that's to be taught in school. I think you got sex ed, you teach the processes and the protection, and then I got some concerns with that after I've been, kind of reading some things about that. And I'm not talking about even the new sex ed. But if you're not in that class, then we shouldn't be talking about that shit. Like, that's something you learn in life. If you are any of the various variants of sexualities and genders nowadays, you can learn that later in life. That's not for the schoolhouse. That's not to be taught. That's not to be pushed, right? But now that's the biggest thing. They care more about that than math grades. And so I think the parents have come out. They've seen the things that have been going on. And they're like, they're tired of this shit. And you saw it. What were they calling it? The blue wave last time? It's obviously the red wave. Shout out to Strong and Grant says, maybe going after people's kids is a sore spot for people. Becky, Cindy, Lucy, and Tammy Lynn hang with that CRT. I don't know about Karen, though. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you didn't know, Beyond? You couldn't tell? If they put a black man on television, especially the news, I automatically think he has a structural issue in his wrist. Right? That's just automatic one thing. Like, I have to be promoted otherwise, right? You have to flip the script, right? I have to try the other thing. Or I have to look the other way. Like, I think he's questionable. Like, you have to prove to me that he's not, right? The presumption of innocence is not there. So, Cloak has the case. What's the motherfucking deal? So, my thing is this, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I agree, Devontae. Exactly. And that's the problem. So, let me get to that point. So, with the black thing, and this is why I say that the definition of black has changed. It's no longer a skin color. Because to people on the left, hey, I'm pro-black, I'm blackity black, it's all black, until you deviate from the herd. Until you say, well, I think maybe more conservative views are what's better for the black family, or more conservative policies are what's better for the black community. Oh, you're no longer black, you're a coon, right? Now, I actually, y'all know I was going to wear my favorite shirt, the King Coon shirt. When we have these type of topics, it's inevitable that it happens. But like I said, it's a problem. You're no longer black. Now you're a white supremacist, you're a ally of the white supremacist, or any of us crazy shit, if you do not fall lockstep with the Democratic Party, right? That's what happens. That's what it is, right? And so, exactly, if you don't fall all the way in line, I mean, the slightest deviation, you could be pro-black to black all. Now liberals saying, what is it, the Black Lives Matter, we're against the nuclear family. What if you say, well, I believe a family should be mom, dad, and, 2 kids or whatever. Oh, no, that's not black. You're out of here. Like, they want you to fall in line completely with the agenda, even if the agenda doesn't have to do with anything being black. That's the crazy part about it. So that's where they are. What are they saying now? Gay is the new black? That's basically what it is. And I love it, though. I love seeing Winsome win. I had no idea. Look, I'm not in Virginia. I had no idea she was on the ballot. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, I was rooting for Winsome the whole time. I didn't. But it was a pleasant surprise to see. Because I thought that Virginia would become another situation. But also, this is telling me this is not taking place just in Virginia. This is telling me that something is happening across this nation. People are not happy with the current administration. And I think that come midterms, there's going to be some changes. And I think certain parties better be aware. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, really crazy. It's very unfortunate. Let me see. I had some things I wanted to show y'all, right? Have I been called that in person by other black folks? No, absolutely not, Cal. Motherfuckers only be tough on the internet, right? And one, I don't necessarily have this random conversation with people. Like, if I do, you know what I mean? For some reason, it's always sports or whatever else. People don't really want to get in those conversations. I don't mind having those conversations. But then again, I'm also a very large individual. So I don't think people like to go into certain territory. I'm not a violent person at all. It's just that, I just think, people automatically assume when they see dreadlocks, they see tattoos, and I'm not, in a suit and shit. I'm really dressed really casual most of the time. So they probably automatically assume, he's on the page. Yeah, the white man doing his bad. No, he's not. He's not doing anything to me. Well, I don't know what he's doing to you. But I don't see the invisible hand of the white man doing some crazy shit to me. So it is what it is. But I got a couple of articles I want to show you guys because sometimes y'all come in here and say, Honcho, you just be saying shit. What you're saying is not true. You just be making stuff up. So I'm going to pull up a couple of things, right? And I already like when day one, talking about she wants to challenge Joy Reid to a debate. And she says Republicans are dangerous. See, this is the rhetoric. This is those people who, again, like I say, the talking heads, the puppets that they're turning out of these colleges that are just woke and just want to hold people's past accountable. Shit that had nothing to do with today, with the people of today, but they want the people from today to pay the dues. It makes no sense, right? And remind me, to get into a little bit of conversation, because I saw a conversation on a thread and I thought it was super funny because about the alleged money going to the illegal immigrants, right? And them niggas still out there thinking them fucking reparations are coming like, oh yeah, we next. Did you not realize you got jumped in line? Like, there is no next. There is none of that. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about it. Yeah, that's the way I am. Just leave me be. And here comes Broderick, y'all. Great. Here, Broderick's here, everybody. It's terrible. The room just got yeah. Anyway, let's talk about it. Republican Virginia Lieutenant Governor-elect Winsome Sears challenged MSNBC host Joy Reid to invite her on a show after the liberal pundit called Republicans dangerous following Glenn Youngkin's Young Ken. I'm surprised it's not a term niggas be using. What's up, Ken? What's up, Young? What's up, Young Ken? They should love Young Ken. You have to be willing to vocalize that these Republicans are dangerous. Like, what merit do you have to say these things? I guess my screen's a little bit different than y'all's. What merit do you have to say this stuff? Don't buy these high-ass M&Ms. These are expensive. Ignore these ads. That isn't a party. That's just another. That isn't. No, excuse me. I'm skipping a word. That this isn't a party. That's just another political party that agrees with us on tax policy. That at this point, they're dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hardcore stuff. I would like to know where, right? and when. And I know the people in this conversation, in this chat, we tend to lean a certain way, right? And we've had other people, depending on other topics, have leaned other ways. Where's the white nationalism? I know that there's been a couple of folks who have been associated with some things, but like, what prominent position have they held in, the Republican Party, right? I've seen the blackface from multiple, Democratic quote unquote leaders. I would consider that a form of racism, right? If that's the game we're playing. I don't see any black men in prominent positions in the Democratic Party that are straight black men. There might be a gay or two. So wouldn't that be some type of what's the intersectionality that they're lacking? They're missing a section. Where's the straight black man section? We don't get a say so, right? We don't get a say in this country. Not with the Democrats, at least. They don't want you in the home. They don't want you to be a part of the conversation. But when it comes time to vote, you should give them your vote. But yet, you look on any of these commercials, you look on anything leaning left, the men in these conversations, commercials, whatever, marketing, they're always very effeminate. You never see anything about a hardworking black man, because a black man that works, especially hands-on, tends to probably be more independent or Republican. So, there's that. So it leads to the hardcore stuff. Again, like I say, I don't know where any of that happens. I'm not sure where it happens. We can talk about Charlottesville and all this other crazy stuff, but I don't think that ties into anything relevant. We saw the fake Charlottesville supporters that the Democrats try to use optics to prove points. They can't really prove points. They just say things that have no merit, that they can't back up. And then they just leave it that way, right? That's just how it is. So it says, I wish Joy Reid would invite me on her show. She said on the story Wednesday after hearing Reid's remarks, let's see if she's woman enough to do that. I'd go in a heartbeat. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that beat down. And we'd have a real discussion without Joy speaking about me behind my back, if you will. She talks about white supremacy. Does she know I ran against a white supremacist? I mean, Joy, come on, get your facts straight and then come talk to me. So again, oh man, like I said, and the optics do work. Optics do work when you're dealing with ignorant people who don't really understand, and they do work. And I've said plenty of times that the Republicans, that the conservatives have a marketing problem, a huge marketing problem, that they're missing on certain segments. But again, it is what it is. Skipping over this, Reid was one of the several liberal media pundits to have a public meltdown after Youngkin's victory. Van Jones, I hate that bitch. The Delta variant of Trumpism, dog whistle racism. Dog whistle, that means I can't really prove it, but it makes me feel like it inside, because I'm going to associate it with something that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, but again, the racist is the right for some reason. Sears supporter had plenty to say to ex-ESPN anchor Jamel. I can't stand that bitch either. Who tweeted early Wednesday morning, it's not the messaging, folks. This country simply loves white supremacy. What did this country love when they elected the African? Because he's not African-American, right? He's not African-American. He has an African dad. He has a white mom. I'm talking about Barry. This is delicious tea. He wasn't even African. He was a real live African. All right? Barely even lived in this fucking country, but that's a whole nother conversation. So, again, I'm skipping over there. I just want to point that out. Like I said, just have some visuals to prove that what I'm saying is not all craziness. Like I said, she says loves white supremacy. We beg to differ. I'll show you this picture right here. This picture gets my dick hard. Yeah, you can get it right now. I'm telling you, what you're looking at is the American dream, she said during her victory speech early Wednesday morning. Like I said, with the left, they only want niggas at certain levels, right? Like, we want to use you for our messaging. They're the ones that use you for the messaging to give you the illusion that we're trying to do something. Here, we'll give you some crumbs. keep fucking with us. Maybe one day we'll put you. And then while all the other groups, because again, I don't believe in their way of doing things, but if we're going by the way they operate, and picking and choosing what groups they want to promote, but they leave you niggas in the dirt every time, right? Like every time, niggas they leave you in the dirt. So they let other groups jump over you. They promise you some shit, and then hey, we got you next time. Just vote for us again, and we'll see you in 4 years. You don't get it, and it carries on. Real Americans say, when I joined the Marine Corps, I was still a Jamaican, but this country has done so much for me. I was willing to die for this country. She said, a Marine Corps veteran said in her speech. Hill was widely criticized. Hill always says some stupid shit, and again, never owns it. Her mom's a fucking Republican. She's like, anybody who opposes Republicans are racist. Yeah, my mom's been Republican for the last 16 years. Like, really? Really? Yeah, I agree. She is, but what part of Jamaica, Heidi? The part near the beach? And again, like I said, a lot of BS, a lot of crazy stuff. I love that. That really just, all I need is her, the gun, and the green jacket. Let's get it on. This is very interesting, right? Makes you wonder who's the racist. But again, Jemele Hill is paid by liberals to say stupid shit. Like, that's her job, right? When she told all the niggas to go to HBCUs, even though she went to Michigan State, when she could have went and worked for maybe a small black upstart after working at ESPN and using her name to help them grow. Where did she go? Atlantic. And so, again, like I said, she just says shit. Actions speak louder than words. And her actions have told you everything that she says and believes in is fucking bullshit. So, there it is. But you give them an inch, you'll take a fucking mile from you. I'm not even going to listen to that. I'm not pulling up the videos and all of those stuff. Like I said, those are just basically things showing the dilly-dally, right? Let me slide back over here. Random drugs. You're a piece of terrible person. Here's some dog whistles from the far left. Trans women are not women. There are only two genders. All lives matter. Islam is not a religion of peace. Come fight. Shout out to Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan. Appreciate the super chat love. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man. It's what the fuck is going on here? It's crazy, right? Well, getting back to the black thing. So, black woman finds a position of relevance within the Republican Party, and all of a sudden it's racism. It's crazy white people. Like, again, like, it was not enough niggas to elect Barry. So obviously he had to get some white votes, right? So are all these white people racist too? Are they racist too? They're just racist and voting for whatever option they got. Like, it makes no sense to me. I would think that a racist person would rather either not vote or vote for against their interest if race was just such a big deal. Like, that's just what I would think. Being partially racist myself against everybody, that's probably what I do. But the black thing, and what I was saying about that is that now it's done. It's over. It's a wrap. Black is a state of mind. And I'm not saying this in some woke, dope ass way. If you're a white person that can dance, you take any white person that can do black dances, right? That dances to rap music, versus Ben Carson. I'm not saying Ben Carson has to dance or anything. 91% of niggas in America will say that white person who can dance is more black than Ben. Let's take Justin Bieber, right? 90% of niggas in America will say Justin Bieber is more black than Ben Carson. That's the mentality. Well, he's invited to the cookout. Ben's not, right? I saw people say when this woman won, they had nothing to criticize her on. So niggas in the comments talking about her skin looks dry. She looks ashy. That's what they had to say. And I agree, A3 Digital Studio, absolutely. So And it's just like, man, it's crazy. I saw an angry. Y'all remember that chick? If y'all were here, remember I was showing y'all some of the woke videos, and we gonna do some woke stuff. Maybe tomorrow. We haven't watched videos in a while. But remember I showed you that chick, and I kind of went in on her. She said some dumb stuff, and she was like super light skinned. She had green eyes, and she was talking about somebody. She was talking about some white girl. And she said, "Oh, I hate when the white girl asked me if she could listen to or say certain words, sing a song. I forgot, it was like a Nicki Minaj song or something. And remember she said, "Oh, I can't stand it." That bitch. Apparently, there's some dude, I guess, was a white guy on the Ohio State basketball team, and he did some kind of little TikTok thing, and she started crying about, well, you see that white people like this are comfortable in black spaces. Like, you goofy motherfuckers need to make your mind up. Like, you cry about being ostracized. You cry about being treated a certain way. But then you want to treat other people the same way when they're in quote unquote your space. No such thing as a black space. A black space is a corporate space, right? That's it. Because everything that's quote unquote black is corporate backed, right? We got corporate backed activists, protesters, and all this other shit. There is no black space in America anymore, right? Like I said, black is now a state of mind. When you see all the wokies on the TikToks, they use all quote unquote black slang. The same shit you cry about. The alphabets and other people are using. We've watched all these videos here. We've seen all this stuff. So there is no quote unquote black, and I've told you a long time ago before I even saw a TikTok, there's no black culture in America. You know what I mean? So, but it's just like, it's crazy because the mentality now is, it's your mentality. It's not your skin anymore. Because again, like I said, this woman now, she's not black enough. If she's, let's say anybody who goes against the grain, they want to pull their black card and they want to say, oh, they're not black, or you hate black people, or you hate this, or you hate that. I sit there and say, I like black women with natural hair. All of a sudden, I hate black women because I'm not a fan of weave. I hate black women because I like you wearing your natural hair. I like afros and shit like that. That's why I hate black women for that, because they wear weave and shitty eyeliner. I hate the accessories you wear, but because you wear them, you've associated them with blackness. And so now I hate black people. So that's what I'm saying. It's no longer a skin tone. It's not even about skin color. It's not about none of that. It's about the mentality. That's where we are now. That's what it is. Exactly. Carlton Blanks. Yeah, y'all hated on Carlton. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about Will. Will doing some other shit. Will might be an alien. But here's what we're going to do. In a second, let's boot it up. Let's open up the line. Let's talk about it. I want to know your thoughts, man. I want to know, I got to hear from my goddamn the man in ground zero of it all, right? And so I know, what? Motherfuckers. You're going to make me sign in. I don't remember my damn password. Hold on a second. I got to sign in this shit. Why you make me sign in if I didn't even put my password in? If I'm just going to log. Why don't you just log in? Why don't you just automatically? Anyway. All right, so I'm going to open up the line. Excuse me. Pause. Pardon me. Drop the number on the screen. 832-694-1337. 832-694-1-DEN. Call in. I want to know your thoughts. I want to talk about Newsom. I want to talk about Virginia, converting. Oh, but I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a shit ton of lower level school district elections that swung Republican because of all this shit that's being pushed in the schools. We got a call coming in. Let us talk about that, my friends. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? We got calling into the den this evening.
Yeah, man, it's me. Yeah.
Already, Dan, the man with the motherfucking plan. How you doing this evening, Dan?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Got some stuff got to take care of tomorrow. It's very important, not for me, but for family members. So I won't be on. Well, I say I won't be on too long, but it's just like 10 o'clock over here, so I'm good. I ain't like during the damn morning. I'll be all right.
Okay.
I'm all right though.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now? Being, like I say, a person in the area who was kind of skeptical of what could have took place, what might have happened. We saw reports of various things going on. And to find out that Youngkin wins, Winsome wins, and again, I forgot the Latino gentleman's name, but to see the Republicans basically, take over Virginia.
Well, Well, I am a bit happy about that, given the previous people who we've been dealing with. Like I said, Governor Blackface McClan dude, whatever the fuck, not Newsom. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he's done blackface too. Oh, Ralph Northern. I was so glad that cocksucker's gone. Jesus Christ. I just didn't like that guy. I really didn't. Let me find out some information on the Attorney General. Jason Miyares. Now, he's Cuban American. So
Cuban B.
Yes. So, I don't know how much that's going to take into account of his decisions in terms of being Attorney General. But we'll see. But here's my thing. Now, I'm hesitant about certain things because I don't know if these people, being close to Washington, Matt, what's up, man? Sean, what's up, man? Louis, what's up, man? Craig, what's up, G? Beyond the Funny Nigga, what's up? Heidi, hello. Sarah, how you doing, girl? All right, my bad. I'm just saying hi to people. Okay, but being so close to the quote-unquote swamp, I don't know how that will affect their politics. Are they going to actually be conservatives, or are they going to be these fake-ass conservatives like Mitch McConnell and what's that fucker from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham? That two-faced snake cocksucker? I hate that guy. Yeah. I really do. Cool. But hopefully they'll, do some. I doubt we'll get another DeSantis in Virginia. I doubt that. Not this close to Washington. That'd be awesome. That'd be groovy, man. I'd have fucking loved that dude. So we'll see what's up, man. We'll play it by ear. But I am happy with the results. I had to do a provisional ballot because I was registered in my home address, which is a different city than where I go to school. I currently live. But, I did what I could, so got that taken care of. I'm glad I was able to help. I was waiting till 3 in the morning. Let me just go see that jump. See that F, yeah. Waiting for it, Fairfax County.
Yeah. Those random 300,000 mail-ins that allegedly were floating out there.
Yeah. What's up, B More? But luckily, and the whole thing about Winsome Sears, and she's a Marine actually. She served in the Marine, so shout out to her. Thank you for her service. So I just read up on her before I listened to the show today, and apparently Jamaican immigrant, if I'm correct. Her father came to this country with like a few dollars in his pocket, did well for himself, and took care of his family. And she joined the Marines, and she actually was running a homeless shelter for a while. Then she just got into politics, and hey, lieutenant governor, there you go.
You know what I find though, and it's kind of interesting because people who do come from, I call them the islands, usually the West Indies or the Caribbean, however people like to identify it, they tend to have different principles, and I think they tend to lean a little more right than your average, quote unquote, Black Americans who were born here, who lived here. I think Africans are kind of the same way.
Oh yes.
I think when you see that where you come from to what the opportunities that when you get here, I think they take them in a different way. I think they know what it is to really not have those options, and they take advantage of that shit. But niggas get here, like the lady who was in here the other day when I said, hey, there's lots of benefits to being Black in America. What benefits? And they don't see them. They're just blind to them. Yeah. Exactly. Right here in your face, and you can't see it. Like John Cena, you can't see me. The benefits right there. But it's unfortunate. But again, shout out to her.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy about that, actually, especially for Winsome Sears. I mean, Youngkin, hopefully, he does all right. I think Trump backed him. I think Trump's trying to be, they call him trying to be a kingmaker. He's trying to, kind of pick politicians he chooses. But I'm worried about that, too, because he hasn't picked the best people. Look at his vice president. Yeah, good, smart on that one, bro. So, I mean, if he's judicious in his decisions, and the public fucks with it, then it is what it is, and the Democrats got to find a way to stop it. Well, I'm sure they have ways to stop it, and I'm sure they're probably doing that in New Jersey right now. I'll leave that right where it is. I don't know if is it because I don't think the guy's going to win, but the fact that in New Jersey that race, the fact that a guy, a trucker, if I'm correct, who used $153 to scare the shit out of a Democratic incumbent, been in there for a minute now, that should tell them something. That hey, maybe we need to rethink this quote-unquote progressive policies we've been pushing on people. Not going to happen, though. Actually, speaking of progressive policies, and so Minneapolis, where this whole BLM, defund the police thing started, there was a referendum to abolish the police.
Yes.
It failed. It failed.
Wonder
the
why.
Place where defund the police started. I wonder why. A year of fucking chaos. That's all. That's all. That's all you need. Just a year of chaos. Year of already like castrated police. And yeah, I mean, look in New York, man. People can execute in the middle of the street. Motherfuckers stab people with slices of pizza. You know what? Y'all have fun with that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
They getting
Yeah.
stabbed over pizza? Good grief. Pizza rat better be careful. They might get the little rat for his piece of pizza. Goddamn.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, Oh, and I knew it was gonna be something like that. These people had to see what these progressive politics would take them, and see like, hey, let's pull back. This is a bad idea. And then when you start going after people's kids, that's what really fucked the guy who just lost. I forgot his damn name. That's how quickly motherfuckers don't care. McAuliffe, yeah. That whole thing. I don't think that parents should have right to choose what kids learn in school.
Yeah.
There's another politician who said that. Hillary Clinton in the book she wrote.
No.
But I think the state should choose what should be responsible for the education of children. Like, nah, bro. Now, the state does have some hand in it. Let me find that exact quote. Give me one moment.
Yeah, that's wild, though. Because the leftists feel like their views are more important than the values that you as a parent you should want to instill in your children. Here's the thing: if you got to fund, feed, and take care of these children, then you should be instilling your values. But that's what's going on in schools now. The teachers who have there's no recourse if a child goes astray, but filled with the bullshit that they try to sell them. It's on the parent to deal with it. Once the child becomes a drug addict or gets early teenage pregnancies or any of these things, because these teachers are preaching these liberal ideas. They're teaching these crazy thoughts. Hey, to the encouraging sex, encouraging all this shit. What's the genderqueer book that they're in a lot of those schools? All of these crazy things that are going on, and then these kids live scarred emotionally, some physically, depending on what kind of weird shit they get into. And again, they're not my kid anymore. I'm on to a whole new batch of 20, 30 students that I can brainwash their minds, and it's up to the parents to have to deal with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I just found it. Now, the minute I put in this quote, it's like 90 fact-check websites. They're like, no, this is false, completely false. I hope you're right. So so the quote is, supposedly, I believe the primary role of the state is to teach, train, and raise children. Parents have a secondary role, allegedly. We'll leave allegedly there. We'll put it like that. Yeah. So, I mean, supposedly that's what happened. Oh, Hillary and Bill, what a lovely couple. God bless them. And talking about white supremacy and white privilege, their daughter Chelsea Clinton, I don't know how smart she is, but she got a goddamn six-figure job, and I mean upper six figures, like over $500K, coming right out of college. I mean, so there's your white privilege. You have a 50-year-old crackhead who's gonna smoke his teeth out, getting jerked off by Chinese prostitutes while smoking more drugs, getting caught in 4K. And next week he's doing Jimmy Kimmel appearances. There's your fucking white privilege.
Wow. You think they're gonna pitch him underhanded with the softball questions, or do you think they're gonna really ask him what's really going on? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, he's really gonna press the issue, right?
I've seen some of the interview, and I'm glad it was rightly downvoted. I'm so glad about that. It was like, it wasn't like downvoted to hell, but it was like, yeah, we're not with this shit. And a lot of people say, yep, softball questions, softball. Hunter is the man. Well, I tell you what, you have fun snorting some coke off his erect penis. Have fun with that, Heidi. Go knock yourself out. Or do like, what's the movie? The Wolf of Wall Street, where he blows coke up the girl's ass. Oh. I see you doing that. Absolutely. And Hunter be the man to do it with. You might be too old, though. You know, he prefers them younger. I'm going to leave that there alone, too. Oh, Jesus Christ. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, some of these Democratic politicians, see, someone like, what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard. When I started to go after Hillary Clinton, I was like, you know what? I like her. I would go for her. Yeah, I would. I would. Because she seems more moderate, like you can talk to her. And I would say being a veteran is it's not a necessity for me to vote for you, but I find that a good quality. You know, doesn't make you God or anything like that. I'm not gonna put a cape on somebody just because they served the military. I mean, a lot of shitheads, and I served the military with too. Heidi, like I said, have fun with them. Heidi, go knock yourselves out, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go smoke crack and get new teeth and all sorts of wild shit and wear jock straps. All this weird rich people shit. Have fun. Go have fun in the Hamptons. with Obama at the super spreader event. Knock stuff out. But yeah, man, this should be interesting. But yeah, the whole thing about Winsome Sears not black enough. It's not because she's Jamaican. It's not because she's. She just don't fit that trend. See, we have let other people define who we are as a people, and it's gotten to a point now where they don't have to say anything. We do it to ourselves. We especially the kids. And I forgot who it was in the comments. Basically, he was saying the same thing I did with growing up. When you answer questions in class, you speak a certain way, a bit more, I won't say proper, a bit more pronounced, things of that nature. Why you acting white? You white. You a cracker. Exactly. You ain't no real nigga. I heard all that shit growing up, bro. And it does something to you. It's like my own people don't fuck with me. So, and you wonder why some of these black men end up after white women, because a lot of black women were clowning their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I've dated all kinds of women. I just don't like stuck-up bitches.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, nowadays, half these bras are stuck up. Don't know why. Just saw a video where someone with 5 kids was being choosy about a man who had one. He's like, "You got 1 kid. I don't want no more kids. I got 5 kids." Now, look, with 4 baby daddies. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Could you imagine having to buy all them niggas' kids gifts come Christmas time and your kid has to miss out? Because, a woman like that going to feel like, well, you got to cover all these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's crazy stuff. But so I'm hoping we can dive into that. I got a plan, and again, remind me, I got to shoot you something out here beyond. I got a plan because I really want. I'm trying to stir up the hornets. As y'all know me, I like having good conversations, but the den was based on the drama and the turmoil and the good times, having fun as well. So I'm trying to bring that back. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
You want that old thing back?
Oh man, yes, motherfucker trying to dox you type shit. But yeah, but I agree with you, and that's why I say this. It's black is no longer a color; it's a state of mind in this country. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's a low level state of mind. It's not even something to aspire to want to be. You know what I'm saying? It's the very bottom of the barrel. It's the woe vickies and the bad babies. They give them more credit as being black or for being black, and they'll give actual black success. You know what I mean? Like people who've actually gone and come out of poverty and gone on to become pioneers in their fields. And you got motherfuckers like this just because they act ghetto, do drugs, get a bunch of tattoos, and talk, incoherently. That's black. Oh yeah, they for the culture. What culture? Yep. And then Nike or somebody hashtag for the culture, throw a jersey on Colin Kaepernick, and that's hey, it's for the culture. Like, come on, man, like get the fuck out of here. But the crazy part about it though is the niggas accept it. And as long as the niggas accept it, then, they're getting what they want out of it. Guys like me, you, and a couple of the gentlemen in the chat, we can all have sense and say, hey, this ain't right. Shut up, coon. That's all they're going to tell us. And we just, I guess, you know what I'm saying? and what can we do about it, right? Like, what can we really do?
Right.
So, that's unfortunate.
Man, Craig, man, that little Vicky character, oh, God. Mm-hmm. I don't know who's worse, her or that one idiot that was on Catch Me Outside Girl, whatever the hell her name is, Bad Baby.
Yeah.
I really despair humanity for people like that being around. It just seems like we're evolving back, we're devolving.
Yes.
Just with shit like that. It's like idiocracy because, like, the really stupid people, nature would have fucking killed them off a long time ago. Now, with all the safeguards in place, and this is a George Carlin joke, seatbelts and and antibiotics and stuff like that, they get to live and pop out more kids.
Yep.
And I'm not a eugenicist, but I mean, we'll see where this is going. It seems like the people who would make the most sense as rational people would be parents. They have legitimate reasons for not wanting to be parents. But the people who are fucking terrible parents, thank you, Heidi, yes, new hashtag. But they keep popping out kids. I just heard a story in Houston, actually. I put it in the Discord. That idiot bitch and her daddy, her white daddy, had like 3 young boys, and her living boyfriend beat one of them to death. And instead of calling the police, instead of maybe hiding the body, anything, they just left the apartment. Her and her white daddy. This is the black woman I'm talking about, a sister.
Yes.
And these 3 boys, 2 of them were autistic. are sitting for a year in this apartment with the dead body of the rotting brother. It took a year. She'd come by every once in a while to bring snacks. Well, her and her boyfriend, they didn't miss a meal, her fat ass. But these two boys were sitting in this apartment for a year. Not going to school, none of that shit. And the whole COVID thing really fucked up education in terms of attendance and all that shit. For a year with this rotting corpse of their brother who's beaten to death. And this bitch out here going to Whataburger and shit. Fucking fat bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fucking, oh,
Piece
God.
of shit.
Oh, and she has 2 daughters, too.
Yeah.
And I think the dude beat the shit out of one of the daughters. The other one ran away. She's still missing. The 17-year-old, no one knows where she's at. She is still missing.
It might have hit her too. And like I say, with that, and I've kind of danced around it, and I've seen a little bits and pieces of it. And the whole reason, I haven't been diving into conversations like that, because the whole Malia Davis thing, I ain't gonna lie, that shit took a time. It was just such a crazy story. That's why I've been avoiding. But the details and the things, right? And again, being here in Houston. We really are gonna have to dive into that, because there's a lot of bullshit going on. And when I speak on terrible mothers and I talk about ghetto trash black mom, people want to come to their defense. Oh, you just shitting on black mom. No, it's a lot of these out here. It's a lot of those types out there that are one, their motherhood is being subsidized by the government. They're not really trying to better themselves for the sake of their children. They're just coasting by, and once they can't, get funded for those kids anymore, they kind of kick them to the wayside. They stop giving a fuck about them. A lot of them on drugs, a lot of this stuff going on. And I'm not saying all. Somebody could be like, not all. It's just not, fuck that not all shit. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. We're all adults here, hopefully. And it's a significant enough number to continue creating a problem, because it's just like this. I look at it like this. Like you said, the stupid people. Right now, let's say intelligent people do outnumber the stupid. I don't think it. I think right now we're definitely outnumbered by the stupid, because the things that are like number one on the entertainment charts and billboards and all other shit, I think the dummies have won. But like you said, a dumb person has nothing to do but fuck. They're gonna watch TV, get pregnant, fuck. Once they pop that one, they're gonna keep fucking. They don't use protection. They don't do any of these things. So you may have that intelligent couple who career first, or school, then career, get stable, then, have a family, maybe have 2 kids, maybe by the time they're in their 30s, late 30s, and, some people earlier. Everybody's story is different. But then you have the 2 idiots start fucking in high school, pop them out at 14, don't get any better. They pop one out at 19, pop another one out at 22, and just then there's different various niggas along the way. We all know one of these. And so that one woman and her multiple baby daddies or whatever is going to pop out, 2 to 3 times as many as the people who got their shit together. Maybe 4 times as many, depending on, whatever's going on. And eventually, those people raised in that environment, they don't know any better. One of them might make it because hey, this shit is shitty. I can do better. So one out of the 5 might be well off or do something, and then those others continue to breed and just multiply. And so they're going to have younger gaps in the generations, or smaller gaps in the generation. They're going to have way more kids, and that family's going to be way larger than the more intelligent. And then so they start to take over shit. And then so it becomes a problem. So I know people are like, oh, well, not all. It doesn't matter if it's not all. It's a significant enough number that it causes a problem for everybody. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. So, but here it is.
I mean, basically, essentially, was it Bebe's kids? We don't die, we multiply.
Yeah,
Bebe's kids.
Yeah, it's funny.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
No, that was my movies back then. Though.
That's funny.
That's 2, baby.
Yeah, I just saw that passed through. Yes, I said breed. Because that's what they do. Those women don't give birth. They're breeders, right? If you're not looking to settle out and structure a family, and really have a foundation, you just getting fucked on and sent out to pasture. You know what I'm saying, basically? Because that's what a lot of them are happening. You get fucked on and sent out to pasture. Like, they're breeders. The next nigga come along, when he get off lock, he get out of jail, she been writing them letters, pen paling them and shit. He come bust up. He go back and serve some more times. He out, popping another one out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of that shit going on. And the crazy part about this shit is idolized. When black folks started to glorify the term baby mama, baby daddy, that's when it was all downhill. We don't need the marriage. I don't care if you call it Broderick, unless you got some more stuff to talk about, like the other stuff in the den. I don't even want to talk to you, Broderick. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we are. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we are. And those people are the people who end up wanting the handouts. These are people who want to be taken care of because they feel like they've been done wrong when they don't realize it's the mentality that's doing you wrong. And those are people that end up voting for the Democrats. And then this is why this shit perpetuates, especially in the black community. So yeah, I tied it all in for all y'all hating. Like, why is he talking about you trying to bash black women? No, I'm tying it all in. So there you go.
It reminds me of another movie. They like Gremlins.
Yeah.
They throw water on them and shit. You know that shit, eating chicken after midnight and shit.
Mm-hmm.
All this crazy shit. Yeah, be careful. You don't throw no water on that weed. You will turn into a goddamn gremlin.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker try to kill your ass. It's just what it is, bro.
Yeah, you'll get
stabbed. I just called a weed wearing woman, black woman, a gremlin. Yeah, I just said that. Sue me, fight me. What the fuck you gonna do?
Didn't one of the gremlins wear some weave? Didn't one of them have some weave and makeup on in one of the movies? If I wasn't tripping, or maybe
it was like Spike.
Yeah.
The one with the white hair. Yeah, Spike. That was the main dude. Mm. That was the main hitter right there, boy. He was fucking everybody up, bro. He was a real nigga right there, boy. That was my favorite movie as a kid as well, Gremlin. Little motherfuckers bad.
Yeah, Gremlins.
See, Gizmo was light skinned. It's the dark green skinned niggas causing trouble. See, light skin cool. That's how that go. See, that movie racist. That movie racist as shit. Fuck Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm stupid. I apologize about that. I've offended everybody. I promise. Mm-hmm. But man, I'm about to get off the line. Project maybe drop some fire. I don't know.
Project will never drop no fire.
Yeah, man.
Project drops dry ice. Just it's so cold it burns. It's the reverse. It's just like we just have to hear that shit. Terrible. Nah. No, Project all right. I'm just fucking with it.
All right. Be more careful. I've recently learned that I have sheltered my kids too much. One of them thinks he is a victim, and the world is against the LGBT community. This is the shit right here, right there. Mm-hmm. That comment right there. This is what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of shit, exactly why the Republicans won a lot of seats in Virginia. Mm-hmm. That shit right there. Mm-hmm. And these woke-ass teachers, with all this BLM flags and shit, at this point, don't have any flag in the classroom. At this point, I don't want any sort of political messaging. Just teach kids the facts. That's all you got to do. Because a lot of that stuff these refs are talking about, it's pseudoscience. It's made up. It's just people just go along with it so they don't get quote unquote canceled or make people feel bad on social media.
Correct.
I'm fucking done with that shit.
Yeah. And I think people are. I think people are starting to push back, and that's why I say I'm curious to see what happens at the midterms. I'm curious to see what happens, in 24, because I got a couple of videos I hadn't shared. I mean, the people are like looking at the economy. They're looking at Biden. They're looking at all these things. They're just like, man, I'm tired. How do you do this in less than a year? You know what I mean? Things were good. We understand the Rona situation, but now, how did all this happen? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
one more thing before I hang up. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good.
But now, notice this. So Biden, he came down to Virginia to help out McAuliffe. And they were saying something about Trump. I forgot the crowd was chanting something about Trump, and Biden was ignoring that shit. Probably didn't have his medicine that they were hearing was turned down. So, he was fine with it. But they also had Obama in Virginia trying to, tap dance for McAuliffe. And he still lost. So Obama's losing his grace that he had during his presidency. That's something else to notice too. Because I usually Obama shows up, like it's the magical Negro. Everybody, let's be quiet and hear what he has to say. He's gonna try to get more legislation passed for LGBTQIA2A community plus, minus plus. And totally ignore the people voted 95% of in his election. Let that racist orange cracker free more black people than he did. I tell you that right now. Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And his vice president was the one who instilled a lot of the policies that got them motherfuckers locked up in the 90s over the drug bullshit.
Yeah. But he's sorry for that.
He was free like a lot of dudes in the 90s. I find that hard to believe because I remember him in interviews saying that I am so proud of this bill, the 94 crime rights bill or whatever. But the Congressional Black Caucus recanted their belief into it. Bill Clinton recanted his belief into it years before Joe Biden. The only reason he did was just so he could, try to win back some black votes. And then, of course, goes on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the Fraud and tells you ain't black. You ain't black. And then the whole Black People Ought to Monolith thing, which he was right about that, unfortunately. Yeah. He unfortunately was right about that. So, I mean, hey, he knows the Negroes. But I think he's losing some of his shine. So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's why Obama and Biden can show up somewhere. Not all the Negroes gonna tap dance and shine your shoes, sir. Guarantee you on that. So niggas waking up. I'll put it like that. 80 million votes, if you say so, sir. If you say so. How the hell he get more than Obama? That's what I'm saying. He got more than Obama. More than Obama. Okay. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. If you say so. Okay. God bless America. That's all I got, man. Look, shout out to the people who won, man. I just hope they're not part of the swamp. I'm sorry, quote unquote. I don't want to do any dog whistles. Yes. Just hopefully they're about that life. Yeah. Woke all day. I hope not. That's all I got, man. Be more good luck with your child situation. That's hard, man. Please, good luck, bro. Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Heidi, got the band hammer. Shout out to Heidi. That's all I got.
Already? Well, that's a bet, man. As always, Dan, the man with the motherfucking plan, dropping some hot fire on the line. And like I said, I'm glad things turned out the right way in Virginia. Like I said, we just have to see, where they're really headed, what their real intentions are. So we can only wait and watch.
Very true. Oh, one more thing. Now, I read in some forums, they're like, see, they ain't trying to do no funny business in Virginia, unlike they're going to do in other places because they had to give them something. And I'm like, damn, you might have a point there. So I'm just hella paranoid nowadays, bro. I don't know. I'm trying not to be too paranoid, but honestly, there's been a lot of fuckery going on.
Yeah.
So now I'm like scratching my head like, damn, you might have a point. I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. That's all I got. Have a good night, Honcho.
You too, Dan, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, thanks, bro. You too.
All right. Hot fire from Dan. We got another call coming in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Hola, ¿cómo está? I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, hello, I'm sorry. I was on hold for a while. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is Jackie.
Jackie, how are you doing this evening, Miss Jackie?
I am well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Good to hear from you. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, I had a different topic, but I wanted to go back quite a few minutes ago to what you were saying about black people saying that they don't think there's anything good here. Being black in America, it's not good here. Mm-hmm. So my cousin, and this just is so ridiculous. My cousin is half black, and he's been very blessed in this life. I mean, he's not rich, but he did not have a hard life. His dad was a business owner. He was a business owner until he fucked that up of his own accord. Like, he messed it up by himself. And he was also on Biggest Loser, where he was very popular. He had many opportunities thrown at him, and a lot of them he messed up himself by doing stupid things like smoking too much weed. He got super fat because he just wanted to sit around and smoke too much pot. And he wants to sit here and tell me how oppressed black people are in this country when he has had so many opportunities thrown in his lap. He could have gone to college. Colleges were calling him, wanting him to play football. Yeah. He sat around and smoked pot instead. Didn't even graduate. He was like a half a credit shy. And this guy wants to bitch and complain all day long. He's super liberal. He's super duper, just ridiculous. Yeah, and it's so dumb how you can have so much in front of you and be a victim. How are you a victim?
Yeah. I think once you install it in your mind, it doesn't matter what you see, doesn't matter what happened. I don't understand it. It's hard for me to comprehend it. And I could kind of say at one point in time in my life, I thought that way, even though I always, I still always had a somewhat positive view of things. It wasn't just, white man's always holding me down, but it's crazy. Like I said, when you see all the opportunities, especially now in this day and age, the internet and everything else that's accelerated right at your hands, at your fingertips, it blows my mind. I don't know how people still believe that, but I guess once it gets ingrained into you, it's hard to get rid of.
Well, in this day and age, if there's someone holding you down, point them out because they will be criticized and ostracized. So if it's really happening, point it out. Like my cousin, who's holding you down? You are holding you down.
Yeah, that's it.
It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And now I forget what my other topic was that I wanted to bring up. Oh, about your headline about she's not black enough.
Yes.
If Kamala Harris is black enough, then this lady is black enough.
Exactly.
And I didn't really hear about her either up until like right now when she was winning. I didn't really know who she was. Mm. But I went and I started reading some of her stuff and things she was talking about, and I love her. She's awesome.
Yeah. And super funny.
How is she not black enough?
Because Kamala was of Jamaican descent or something like that, and then mixed with Southeast Asian. This lady here is Jamaican, and she's made a way for herself on her own accord. She didn't have to get down on her knees for Willie Brown or anybody, you know, and made a way for herself, you know, and again, a respectable way. But you'll accept Kamala, who never claimed any of that, who never. You know, until it was convenient, only when it's convenient. You know, she threw some lugs on and a jacket, and like I said, it's a mentality. It's not even about skin tone. She does some things that people correlate with black culture, whatever that may mean. That she must be black. She must care about us. And so, again, it's crazy. I don't understand it, but I agree with you. If you can accept her, Kamala, for being black, you know, why can't you accept this woman?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's about all I had to say, but thank you so much for answering my call.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling in, Miss Jackie. If you don't mind, what was the song being sang in the background?
Oh, it was, when you answered, I had my Facebook on, so it was cycling through something on like, what is it, the watch page. So I don't know what it was. I just clicked it off as soon as I heard it.
Okay. All right, okay, cool.
It kind of cut in real quick on me.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate, you holding, like I said, apologize for the wait, but I appreciate you holding and sharing your thoughts with us. Like I said, I completely agree with the Kamala thing.
Yeah. All right, well, you have a great night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Another good one. Hello. Who we have calling into the den this evening?
Well, hell, it's good I finally got in.
Hey, brother.
Hold music.
Brother, can you hold on for me for 1 second? 1 moment?
Oh, shit.
Y'all give me 1 second. I got a small thing to do. All right. Sorry about that, Mr. Brooks there. What's on your mind there, Mr. Brooks?
Really, nigga?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I intentionally waited because you was talking all that shit. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, Mr. Brooks? It must be something special because we're rarely graced by a Broderick call.
Well, it's pretty simple. Your title got me, and just seeing what was going on because I haven't been keeping I hadn't had time today to really get on any social media and see what people were saying about this black lady that won lieutenant governor in Virginia. But I can only imagine. So some of the comments that you were making, I'm pretty sure it gets a whole lot worse than that. It takes niggas to say something like, she looked ashy or something like that because you don't have anything else on this black woman. They doing her the same way they did Ben Carson, which is a travesty. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in now. The whole country is in this situation that we're in now, and it's largely thanks to black women, And I'm saying that because Did they not credit black women for the victory with Biden?
Yes,
They
did.
credited. They largely credited black women, right? So here's the thing. There's a difference between someone that's dumb and someone that's stupid, right? Dumb people are dumb because they lack knowledge. They lack wisdom. However, a dumb person can become smart by learning, going to school, gaining knowledge. A dumb person can become smart. However, stupid people can be smart people that choose ignorance. It's willful ignorance. Sadly, the black community in large part is not dumb, but we're stupid. And I said this on the Discord, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, that it really doesn't take much to sway black people. All you really have to do to sway black people on anything political, socially, or whatever, is get a small group of black women. Convince them of whatever stupid lies or anything that you think that they will fall for, because we fall for anything, unfortunately. Take a small group of black women and convince them of some bullshit, and they will then take that they've learned and they will spread it to the rest of the black community. Because one thing the black men ain't gonna do, because we all know what the numbers are. 70% black families are being raised by single black women. Now, I don't know if those numbers are accurate to actually 70%, but just looking around, it seems like that's pretty accurate, right? So you take all of these single black mothers raising these boys, and one thing that the that the black man or black boy is not going to do, they are almost never going to disagree with or challenge anything that they mama says, because what mama says is the truth. It's the gospel, right?
Correct.
Me personally, I'm guilty of it as well, because I can remember when I was a kid and I was learning some government and politics in school, and I mean real young, right? I came to my mother and I asked her what the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats were, okay? And I can remember her saying to me, and I couldn't have been no more than, maybe 7, 8 years old or something like that. But I can clearly remember her saying to me that the Democrats were for the poor and the Republicans were there just to keep the rich, right? Yeah. So, of course, me being a black man raised by a single black mother, what she said to me was the truth. Mm-hmm. And there was nothing else nothing else would penetrate my mind as being the truth, because my mama said it to me. Yeah. So it must be true, right? Mm-hmm. So now that I look back at it, I'm looking back at the fact that my mother told me what she told me in her eyes was not a lie. She was just telling me the information that she had to share with me. Okay. Now, if she learned something different, she would have told me something different. But that is the information that she shared with me, which is largely the same thing that the other 70% of, black people in America living with a single black mother are being told the same thing. Sadly, in the black community, if you step outside of that bubble, as we've all experienced, I know you experienced this as well, Honcho.
Yes.
When you step outside of that black bubble, you are ostracized. You are, Uncle Tom, Coon,
yes,
and all these other derogatory things that they, willfully call us in any space, whether it be, social media, to our face, what have you, right? Yet they tell us that we ought to be offended by somebody calling us a nigger, and we call each other nigger 99% of the time. Just listen to our music. You know what I'm saying? The most derogatory thing that you can say to a black man we say to each other in our music, TV, and all of that.
Yes.
Just like Dave Chappelle said in his comedy special when he was talking about how not Netflix, Comedy Central told him that he was not allowed to say the word faggot.
Yes.
Okay. And basically saying that he can't say faggot because he's not gay.
Correct.
But he said the word nigga on his show 50,000 times or more. And then he tells them, well, I'm not a nigga either.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you allow me to say nigga with impunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this is why we're in the situation that we're in. It's crazy because it's almost like a, what do you call it? A double, damn, I can't think of the term right now.
Like a double standard.
But, yeah, double standard. I don't know why that wouldn't roll off my tongue right there. But it's a serious double standard, and it's got us in the situation that we're in today ultimately. However, with this victory in Virginia, in which I have to be honest with you, I have not been keeping up with it a lot, but I also saw that in Seattle they finally elected a Republican mayor there.
Mm-hmm.
So in Seattle, it's screwed up, right?
Yes.
And so what I'm thinking is maybe, just maybe, after this 9 or 10 months of pure Democratic bliss, is what I'll call it for their purposes. It's a pure Democratic bliss, hell to everybody else. I think that maybe the tides may be turning, and we may be seeing a red wave. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to tell anyone that they should be a Republican, right?
Yes.
So when I have these conversations with black folks, it's not, well, you want me to be a Republican? No, I don't want you to be a Republican. I just want you to stop believing in all the bullshit. And yeah, I would definitely tell you to stop being a Democrat because it does not benefit you, not one bit, to be a Democrat. I really don't know who it benefits in this country to be Democrat unless you are just happy with the status quo. If you're happy with being poor, or you're happy with not doing for yourself, or you're happy with taking a little bit of scraps and handouts that the government gives you, and you're happy being in your little box and not being able to better yourself, if that's what you're happy with, then the Democratic Party is for you. But if you have any ounce of ambition, self-worth, drive, anything like that, you would never vote Democrat. Now, I'm saying this as a former Democrat because I rode with the party strong. I voted for Obama, But it's just odd to me that, and I don't consider myself to be the smartest person in the world, but I do think that I have common sense. And all you really have to do is look around as the world is burning up around us and all the other circumstances that we're dealing with as black people in America. A little bit of common sense will lead you to the revelation that the Democratic Party is not benefiting us as black people in America.
Right.
And it's crazy how, and I heard you talking about Ben Carson earlier. He's another one. We're talking about a world-renowned neurosurgeon, probably the best neurosurgeon in the world. That is a black man raised by a single black mother, who his single black mother pressed him to read daily, pressed education, and he came out to be what he is today, a very successful, conservative black man with good values. I mean, a strong marriage. And I mean, this is the guy that should be the example for what a black person can be in America. Yet we look at all of the foolishness, the rappers and all of this, the reality TV stars, and now we're looking at Instagram and YouTube influencers as the celebrities and people that we need to be following versus someone like Ben Carson, who people like dumbass Roland Martin call all kind of stupid ass names and coons and all this other kind of stuff. And it's sad because people like that have such a wide net of influence that they can, use to steer the minds and the affections of black women, who I said again, then trickle that down to the black men who actually do all of their dirty.
Yes.
It's a sad state of affairs, but I do believe that things are changing slowly, and maybe the whole election being rigged and everything, because let's just be honest, the election was rigged. I don't care what anybody said. Just use a little bit of common sense. There's no way this election wasn't rigged, but now they got your tongue tied to where you can't even say that. You're just supposed to accept the fact that we saw all of this fraud. We clearly saw fraud on video, numerous times. So many reports of people that were dead voting. And not only that, but so many unsolicited ballots going out. You're not supposed to send out unsolicited ballots. Mail-in ballots have to be requested.
Yes.
Yet we're sending tens of millions of unsolicited ballots out. And Trump said it before the election. They're going to try to steal the election. He saw the writing on the wall, right? As we all did. Yet you can't even question the fact that the election was rigged. However, I think that it was probably a good thing, because what's going on with this country over the last 10 months is absolutely horrible. It's worse than what I really could have imagined happening. All this stuff that's happening, I would have imagined this happening over a 4-year period,
Yes.
but not over 10 months. So it just bothers me that, we still have so many stupid black people, and that's what I'm going to call them until they wise up. Stupid black people who are still either supporting this guy or are just really silent right now. They were real strong on, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, 10 months ago.
Yes.
Yet we hear nothing from them right now, even though they see all of this foolishness that's going on. But again, we put race before everything.
Correct.
So it's real easy to convince black people of something. All you have to do is put racism in there, and that's all you need to put in the gumbo.
Yes. I agree. And that's the key. All you got to do is, they talk about dog whistles. I think niggas have the most dog whistles. It's only one main one. All you got to do is just say, like you said, racism.
That's it.
Or alleged racism. You don't even have to say racism, because what's old buddy Tariq Nasheed, his little keyword, suspected white supremacists. So, you don't even have to have a foundation, a real belief that something is really racist. You can just call anybody that. I can call anybody
Right.
a suspected white supremacist. And what that does to niggas who don't think, who are easily, susceptible to that type of language, they're automatically going to think that this person's a racist. Suspected means,
Right.
I could assume, I suspect he is. I don't have to have a foundation. I just think he is,
Right.
And there you go. And people eat that shit up. Yeah, he is suspected white supremacist. What evidence do you have of that? Just because somebody
Right.
said it. And so niggas will turn on you that quick. Like they say.
And they
with her.
never have any tangible proof of this suspected racism or suspected white supremacy. And here's the thing, Honcho. I'm gonna tell you like this is, and this is where me and a lot of black people differ. Even though that might lean conservative, we differ on this. When it comes to racism, I ask black people all the time, how does racism really affect your life? Because I'm going to be honest with you, even if all of these Republicans that are in office or running for office or what have you in politics, even if they were all racist, let me tell you something. As a black man, I don't give a damn.
No.
It doesn't make me any kind of damn difference if these people don't like the color of my skin. I don't care. Because guess what? As long as they don't get in my way and impede my progress, how they feel about me is irrelevant.
Correct.
You know what I mean? The racism affects me when you get in my way, when you stop my progress.
Correct.
And that's it. I don't care how you feel about me, because let's just be honest. There's gonna be a whole lot of people in your life that don't like you for reasons that are dumber than the color of your skin.
Yes.
So why do we continue to let racism be the barrier by which we choose to elect these officials and all of this suspected racism, mind you. We choose that to be the bar for if this person is worthy or not to get our vote. We don't look at policies. We don't look at the voting records of these politicians. A lot of times, if you just look at the voting record and what these people in office are actually voting for, that are Democrats, that you say that have your back and your best interest at heart, if you use a little common sense and look at those voting records, you come out and you have a whole different perspective.
Yes.
But the media and the Democrats know that niggas don't read.
Correct.
And that niggas will do anything that mama say.
Correct.
Which is sad. But I think it's turning because I from what I've seen over the last 4 years, I've seen more black men that used to heavily lean left, really starting to look at this whole thing a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a ton of them right now, but I think it's a significant number of black men that are starting to turn around, and I think it's for the better. So that's why I think that this whole election being rigged and everything, I think it was a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a lot more that want to. But again, like you said, they're afraid of upsetting the black woman. They're afraid of deviating from the plantation. They see what's right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? They see
right.
that, that this shit ain't right. They see that they're not included in the conversation. But like you said, some of them have been whipped
right.
into believing, well, yeah, it's time to put, the black woman over everything. I'm not saying shit on the black woman, but, if you don't have male leadership, then, you're not going to succeed. Period. And I'm not saying black women can't do things, but we live in a matriarchy. Black community is in a matriarchy. Like I said, with 70% of the homes ran by black women. And so that has not been working out for us successfully. We've been rapidly deteriorating. We've been saying, like Dan mentioned the other day, we've been at the same percentage of the population. We have not increased at all in decades. That's a negative sign, but none of that matters.
Right.
Again. And so, like you said, if they really paid attention, other than only in election time when they say, hey, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, hey, POCs, hey, black people, we love you. I got some hot sauce. I'm a shuck and jive. Let me do the wobble.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, if
don't get me started on that.
But if it was, hey, and that's the reason why niggas won't get nothing, because the Democrats know that y'all are going to fall in line come election time. We don't really have to say anything. Y'all gonna come out here.
Right.
Y'all gonna give us the vote. We'll acknowledge you because that's all you want. Hey, black people, we still see you over there, and you're gonna give us the vote. And that's the crazy part, because niggas say, well, the Republicans ain't promised us nothing. Well, because they know you already giving your vote away to the Democrats, and the Democrats ain't giving you shit because they know they already got it. They don't have to. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to offer you.
You gotta give you nothing.
Yeah. So your vote is.
They know they got your loyalty already.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question. Because I know how these politicians operate, especially around election time. But since Joe Biden has been in office, how many incidents have we had on being broadcast on national TV, social media, what have you, about unarmed black men being gunned down by police? How many movements have we had on that issue since January?
You didn't hear? You didn't hear that the black consensus decided that we're going to stop having any kind of engagement with the police. We're all following the law. None of us are getting hurt anymore. Since Joe, we got Joe. We danced in the streets because we knew peace had finally come for the black man in America. No, you're not going to hear none of that shit, because again, the mainstream media, the narrative that they have to push when certain individuals are in office is that, racism is on the rise, and it's, this, that, and the third. But when other people get in office, they don't want to talk about it, even though the same things are happening. The same incidents are happening. But if we highlight it, then who do we have to attribute it to? Crime rates are at an all-time high, right? Across the country. But do you hear that? I mean, you can turn on your local news, they'll talk about an incident here and an incident there, but they won't talk to you about the accumulative effect, right? And it's ridiculous. So you're telling me that now there's more incidents, that there's less interactions? Now, I don't blame the police who were like, man, you know what, fuck it. Because if I do something, I'm going to get vilified for it. The risk-reward factor is almost like, There is none. I've been seeing, certain videos where the cops are just letting people beat the shit out of each other. They just kind of, we let them wear themselves out. Then we, might get involved because you do anything, you become the bad guy. And niggas will sit there. It's okay for niggas to beat the shit out of each other. And the cops involved trying to break it up. Don't touch them. Don't do this. Don't do. These motherfuckers are literally killing each other. And the cops trying to break it up, and you mad at the police because these ignorant motherfuckers don't know how to act, in public or anywhere. So. Again, like I said, it is what it is, man. Oh, that black man Van Jones, Van Jones a bitch.
Yeah, he is, man. And man, I'm so sick and tired of seeing black men crying on TV. Man, it's just sad, man. We really look weak, and then on top of looking weak, white men are really laughing at us.
Yeah,
because not only are we crying on TV, we're crying on social media. We crying. All we doing is crying. Ain't nothing happening.
Yeah.
Yet they have convinced us that the niggas out here getting shot down by police, on a daily basis, right? Which I'm gonna tell you, I agree with it. Yeah, it's happening on a daily basis, right? But here's the thing. It's happening to every race of people on a daily basis because how many people we got in America? 400 million, 500. I don't know the exact number, but if you just look at it by the numbers, the sheer numbers, and the law of averages, of course, people are getting shot by police on a daily basis.
Correct.
It's all about what the media chooses to report on and continue to blast in your ears and have you believe. And it's dumb black people that fall for it. That's why they keep doing it. And here's another thing that really bothers me now, and this is about the whole coronavirus thing, right? So I'll just be honest. I don't care if someone is wearing a mask or not. If you choose to wear a mask in public, that is your business, right? I'm not going to vilify you for wearing a mask. However, if I go to a football game, right, and of course, I live in a predominantly white area, okay? We played a game against a team from a predominantly black area, okay? This was a couple of weeks ago. We're in an open stadium, right?
Yes.
Nobody has their own mask except for the black people.
Wow.
Now, again, I don't vilify you if you wear a mask. However, in my mind, I'm looking at the optics of this whole situation where we got, half the people there are white, half the people there are black. The only people that are wearing a mask are black people. Now, I don't vilify you, but I still think that you're stupid. Not just because you're wearing a mask, but for the reason that you're wearing a mask.
Yes.
You're wearing a mask because you have been fooled and you have been led to believe that this doggone virus is after you more than it is a white person.
Yes.
Black people actually believe that because people like Swollen Fartin with his bedazzled ass dashiki come on doggone TV and convince people that the coronavirus is attacking black people more than it is white people. So we have to wear two masks.
No.
You have to be double vaccinated and boosted up and everything because this not only is the world racist against you, but this doggone virus is racist against you.
Corona is racist. God.
Come on, bro. But you just look at it and the same thing with my church, bro. Like everybody in my church, my church has a mask mandate, right? And it makes 0 sense. And they get mad at me because I come in there and I don't have on no mask. I'm not wearing no doggone mask. Y'all stupid for sitting up here and then wearing a mask. It's just foolish, man. And then not only that, another thing that happened in my black church, as soon as Texas passed the constitutional carry law, here goes a sign up on the front of my church talking about no guns allowed.
Wow.
Okay. As soon as that passed, never had that sign up at any other time, right? Now, I know that people ain't just packing pistols up in church anyway, but if you're smart, you would definitely have a couple of people in that church that are packing.
Yeah.
Don't nobody need to know who they are, but it's smart to have that and have some people that are trained in firearms and have their firearm concealed or whatever, just in case.
Correct.
Because and in my church especially, because my church is the first black church in Katy. So it's a landmark, and it's just, if somebody just really wanted to, get froggy and do something, I would probably think that my church would be a great target. It's right in the middle of the hood, and it's the first black church that was in Katy, and was granted to the black people by white.
And the crazy part about it is
the racist white.
Yeah, that was a racist white man. Shame on him. But we've seen it. We've seen it multiple times that there have been incidents that have happened in churches. The Dylan Roof situation, the situation that happened a few years ago back here in Texas. And guess what? I want to say it was either last year, maybe a year before, a couple of years back. And they had guns in the church, and that shit was immediately deaded. Minimal lives were lost in that situation. The gunmen, basically, because people were armed in that church. You know what I mean? And you would think that, knowing that this has happened, especially with one of these incidents being in Texas, that you would say, hey, you know what? Maybe it might be a good idea, just to stay safe. At least have some designated shooters,
Right. That's my point, man. But it's just it just saddens me, man, because common sense escapes the black community, and the thing that really hurts is when you see this level of willful ignorance start to affect the black people that you may have grown up looking up to, that are actually really conservative. They're married. They're they're well off in life. They're doing good. Retired. Don't have a care in the world. Yet they buy into all of the same foolishness. It really disappoints you, and it kind of hurts. You know what I mean? Because if you look at anything, man, these are the kind of people that I grew up looking up to. Yet I have come into the knowledge and used my common sense to realize that, man, we're going in the wrong direction because we're listening to people that really don't have our best interests at heart. So it's sad when you see those people that you have looked up to fall by the wayside in the same way. But again, I'm just hopeful that we as a community wise up and really start to get rid of the niggas. Yeah. We really need to weed out the niggas out the community, because they're not doing us any good.
That's the real pandemic.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. But no, Honcho, that's all I had, man. I just want to talk up with y'all. This topic is one that's always a hot button topic.
Yeah.
And I enjoy talking about it with like-minded people, but I would like to hear an opposing point of view that can actually try to make some sense out of this thing, because I know that you can't, but I mean, if you're on the other side and you have an opposing view, call into the den, man. Let us know. Don't be afraid. Call in with your opposing view and see if you can change our mind. I don't think you can, but I'm game to listen, and I'm always game to have a good spirited talk with anyone that's not afraid to have that discussion. And that's another thing. We run from the discussion when it gets too hot, or when, you come to the table, and a lot of us are going to have this situation with Thanksgiving coming up, with our black family. We're going to have this situation where somebody brings up something, and then a person like you or myself comes into the table, hit them with some facts and everything, and instead of having the discussion and getting to a a solid conclusion, they run from the discussion. They run from the argument. You know, we can't get nowhere like that, bro.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know, like I said, it's a monolith, like, and they called it, and that's what I say. You know, when especially when niggas be like, oh, don't say that. You can't say that in front of white people. They don't even. The white people know, right? They have the whole blueprint that they understand niggas and niggas behavior. You got whole classes on the shit. So what it is niggas is afraid to talk to it. Black folks are afraid to talk about these things, to have an honest and open discussion about it, to, you know, open the eyes of the folks, and they run from it. But like Joe Biden came out and said, you know, what he told Hispanics, hey, you know, you guys are a different crowd, unlike black folks. You know, they're basically a monolith, so they all gonna think the same. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. And they fell in line and did that. They didn't even upset anybody. But when you try to have a real conversation, like, you didn't have an issue with, oh, he was just joking. But, you know, the other guy said, well, what do you have to lose? Which is a honest plea. What do you have to lose? That's racist shit. It's because it's so hogwash, so brainwashed, it doesn't make any sense. And like you said, people got to stop running from the discussion, because these discussions impact the entire community. So you want to be on some each one teach one. Well, you got to be willing to be taught for that to be a thing. But like I say, people don't want to hear.
Yeah, man, the discussions have to be they have to be had, but you know, let's see how Thanksgiving goes for everybody. I'm gonna be excited to hear how everybody's Thanksgiving has gone. I'm definitely gonna have a report from my dinner table, because like I think I was telling somebody on the Discord, man, my son, if you think that I have a lot to say, my son he's turning 25 here in a few days. He is 10 times worse than me.
Yeah.
You know, and he really takes the time to study all of these things, so he be having his facts straight and ready to go. So I'm really just excited about seeing what he gonna do on Thanksgiving at the dinner table. And I'm just gonna sick my son on them when they come to me this year. You know, hey, I'm gonna take a back seat, let him do it. I'll just sit here with my tea, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
with my sweet tea.
Wow.
Sweet tea.
How much sugar is put into the sweet tea?
How much what?
How much sugar is put into the sweet tea?
As much as it takes.
Okay, that worked for me.
damn near surfy.
Okay, yeah, that's about how it works.
That's what we got ice for.
Yeah, now, take note of that, Miss Bell, wherever you may be, but you know what the style.
Yeah.
Sweet tea, your sun tea, whatever you're out there drinking. But yeah, absolutely. So I definitely agree, man.
That's all I had, Honcho, man. Good to talk to you, dear folks, man. Y'all call me and we getting this thing cracking back again. So stop being a bunch of haters out there. Hit that like button and call in.
Correct.
Grace, I see you on there. Comment. Drop us a call. Sarah, drop a call. 335 Craig, drop a call.
Already, yeah. Like I say, we gotta get that thing back rolling, like it once was. Make the den great again. If Virginia can get back right, shit, so can we.
I'm ready. Info 2022.
That's a bet. I appreciate the call, Mr. Broderick.
All right, homie.
All right, there we go. Man, I'm gonna say another good one. So, like I said, it's an interesting situation. We got about 10 minutes before we get ready to wind down. Look, I'm gonna take my ass to bed. I've been getting my fat ass up, walking and shit, and eating. I'm not eating right, but I do got to send. I got a couple of belateds. I know they may not be in here, but I want to send a belated to AB and Wink. Those birthdays I missed, and I feel like it's another one on the list that I missed. Of a belated birthday. So, like I said, it's just it's a sad state of affairs that this is a thing that, you know, the only thing niggas really care about is, like I said, if you can dance, if you make entertainment, you know, these things are what they care about. And then the thing that baffles me is that, you know, niggas will sit here and listen to multimillionaire athletes, multi-millionaire. It's funny, I was actually about to talk about that, Brilly. Multi-millionaire athletes, entertainers, people like that tell you how oppressed they are, how much of a struggle it is to make it. But these motherfuckers getting paid millions of dollars a year, struggling in America. Like I said, that lady came through here the other day when I talked about there are benefits to being born black in America. What benefits? Tell me. And I gave a few things. Child by. Like that's the mindset. That's the mentality. Like it's a clusterfuck, bro. It's crazy because that's the majority thinking of black folks in America. You've grown up in the greatest nation in the world, right? Once was. I honestly feel like we're on a decline because a lot of these beliefs, I don't know if things will turn around. Like, there's ebbs and flows in politics. It leans one way for a while and it comes back the other way viciously, and it kind of goes back. So it is what it is, right? But that's the problem, Craig. That's the problem right there is what group watches more TV, more entertainment than anybody? As a whole, is black folks. They watch more hours of television. There was a study some years ago. I'm pretty sure now it's been replaced with the internet or YouTube or whatever else. That blacks as a group watched the most television, right? And there's a direct correlation with the amount of entertainment you take in a week to basically your status in life, your position within a company or a business or whatever it may be. And so it explains a lot because shit, niggas know everything that's the came on. They know every housewife. They know every piece of information. Niggas be knowing these celebrity lives better than they know their own life. They got everything figured out for every fucking celebrity, what they need. They know more about Jada and Will than they know about their own fucking relationships, right? They can solve Jada and Will shit. They can't even fix their own problems they got in their own home. Rugs, Rugs is a crazy, crazy situation. Oh wow, I didn't know about the gun in the car, and I didn't know he refuses to ride. He said, "No, you doing 156. Ruggs a terrible person." I think they said his girlfriend, if she was with him and she didn't, chime in and say, and again, motherfuckers be feeling, I'm good, you depend on, like, so I'm not gonna put it all on her. Like, nigga, Uber. You know what I'm saying? And again, we were talking about this in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I suggest you join the Discord. I'll put the link in there to join the Den Discord here in a second. These kids, these athletes, especially if you're a top-notch athlete, they're generally handled with kid gloves their whole life, and especially now more so than ever. And I think that's something we need to talk about here in the future, is that these athletes are now being treated like superstars at the high school level, right? At the high school level, they're ever since you've always had ESPN rankings, but now that they can get paid, now that you got highlights of everything that they do, these motherfuckers are acting like superstars, so I'm gonna sit out my senior year of high school. I've never heard such a thing. And when I was coming up, was that hell no, right? And as a team, I'd like, you old bitch ass nigga. And again, if I was in college, I'd look at a player like that and say, we're not interested. I would send the scholarship. You can't play. You're not going to play for us. You're going to leave to go to the league as soon as you can, if you're that good. And if not, whatever. Like your mind is not in the right place. Now, if you're trying to focus on academics or something like that, that would be different. But, these niggas ain't worried about that. And so, again, that has to be a level of concern because, you see it in high school, junior high. I remember Roddy shared a picture of some little niggas, they been on like a Pee-wee league, rocking chains and doing all this other crazy shit with some Burberry football uniforms. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a mercenary league at this point, right? And it's going to get ugly. And again, like I said, in the Watson thing, I think that sets a bad precedent, but trust me, next CBA, the owner's going to lock that shit down. No trade clause, my ass. It won't even be a thing anymore. So they can thank Watson for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, and the thing with the dog, that's crazy, right? Because they had a Pomeranian. I think she had a Pomeranian in the pictures, right? And it's unfortunate, that whole shit, like, burned alive. We all got to go. We all got to go one day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go drowning. I don't want to be burned alive. I mean, not like I got a choice in how it happens, but those seem like the worst things happening. Aaron Rodgers, unjabbed. That's a whole can of worms. I know people are trying to go after his wife. Like they're trying to go after the chick he's with, and some other people. Like, you got to think, Aaron Rodgers made it. What is this, week 9? Has made it this far. With just now getting or contracting it, when you've had lots of people who've already had it, get it. And the thing about it, the only reason he's out is because of the stupid policies that the NFL has in place that separate the jab versus the unjab. Like, he could be good to go and pass test tomorrow, and still not be able to play because they have separate policies for players because he's not jabbed. But if you got it, you can still spread it to people and get a different set of treatment, a different set of rules applied to you. If you're good, you pass 2 tests, you can come back and play. But you could have it, clear it up by whatever means or methods you follow or whatever. Come back and be good to go, but you're still going to have a longer span of time that it's going to have to be before you come back. Like, it's goofy stuff, man. It's super goofy. And again, like I say, it's just whatever. Like I say, it's whatever. But it is what it is. Heidi, you're a terrible person. Right? You're the most terrible of terrible people. But with that being said, we're a couple of minutes away. I want to say, make sure you're following on all these little thingies right here. Yeah, hey, look at that. It's convenient. Ed Honcho on Twitter, HTX. The Den Show, this is like this channel, so you know that. Here's the question. I have no idea what you're talking about. Ed Honcho HTX on the IG. If you're on the Xbox, Honcho Saucy, I get on that from time to time. But I want to say shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Dan the Man, shout out to Jackie, shout out to Broderick, and I appreciate those of you who were waiting on hold for a little while, and sticking around and calling in, so I appreciate that. Like I say, I'm going to be stirring some things up, trying to, I just saw the question after you said it. Trying to get the den back great again, right? I gotta finish a little something after we get out of here. So, again, 9 p.m. Central Time. The World Series is over, so we back on den schedule. You know what I'm saying? 9 p.m. Central Time, Sunday through Friday, right? I think we'll get Sundays back on the Sunday night confessions. If we can get those things jumping back off again. Heidi will put racist things about you if you follow on Instagram. Don't do it. It's a terrible thing. I like everything. I do all kind of stuff. The thing.
The man.
Always blame the man. That's what niggas do for you. If you got problems, you know what I'm saying? You can always say the man. Shout out to Be More, man. It's always good when you can make it. Look, we always here waiting on you. This is the thing I love about the Den, because, like I said, I guess you call it a channel because it is, but I feel like the Den is a community. Like there's like a visual community thing going on. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, and I fucks with it, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I sincerely care about each and every one of y'all. I do. Everything that I do, get to know about y'all individually, some via the stream, some behind the scenes. I appreciate you allowing me into your lives. So I thank you for that. Again, it is an honor, it is a privilege, but more than anything, it is a pleasure to get to chop it up with you guys, and I sincerely mean that. And like I said, we're back at it tomorrow. The Den is a gang. Yeah, definitely. We've done some terrible things. I'm sure as a community we've done multiple illegal things. We're not going to talk about it, right? We've probably done some things that if I go back and look at something, that was illegal, but we did it anyway. So shout out to all of y'all, man. Y'all are all wonderful people. Hey, man, I fucks with y'all. I thank y'all for being here. And until mañana, adios, amigos.